In northeast, their lands remain highly militarized. In India, 101 National Park covering 40,056 square kilometer and 543 wildlife sanctuaries covering 1,19,776 square kilometer. These are areas where tribals originally lived but were evicted from. When they continue to stay in these forests, they are termed encroaches, losing their lands and access to the forest means that tribals lose their main source of livelihood and food. Having gradually lost access to their traditional homelands, many Adivasis have migrated to cities in search of work where they are employed for very low wages in local industries or building or construction site. They thus get caught in a cycle of poverty and deprivation. 45% of tribal groups in rural areas and 35% in urban areas live below the poverty line. This leads to deprivation in other areas. Many tribal children are malnourished. Literacy rates among tribals are also very low. When Adivasis are displaced from their lands, they lose much more than a source of income. They lose their traditions and custom, a way of living and being. They took our framing land. They left some houses. They took the cremations ground, temple, well, and pound. How will we survive? Say a Govind Maran who was displaced due to a refinery project in Odisha. As you have read, there exists in a interconnectedness between the economic and social dimensions of tribal life. Distractions in one sphere naturally impacts the other. Often, this process of dispositions and displacement can be painful and violent. Minorities and marginalizations. In Unit 1, you read that the Constitution provides safeguard to religious and linguistic minorities as part of our fundamental rights. Why do you think these minority groups have been provided these safeguards? The term minority is most commonly used to refer to communities that are numerically small in relation to the rest of the population. However, it is a concept that goes well beyond numbers. It encompasses issues of power, access to resources, and has social and cultural dimensions. As you read in Unit 1, the Indian Constitution recognized that the culture of the majority influenced the way in which society and government might express themselves. In such cases, size can be disadvantage and lead to the marginalization of the relatively smaller communities. Thus, safeguards are needed to protect minority communities against the possibility of being culturally dominated by the majority. They also protect them against any discrimination and disadvantage that they may face. Give certain conditions, communities that are small in number relative to the rest of society may feel insecure about their lives, assets, and well being. This sense of insecurity may get acquainted of the relations between the minority and majority communities are fraught. The Constitution provides these safeguards because it is committed to protecting India's cultural diversity and promoting equality as well as justice. As you have already read in Chapter 5, the judiciary plays a crucial role in upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Every citizen of India can approach the courts if they believe that their fundamental rights have been violated. Now, let us understand marginalization in the context of the Muslim community. Muslim and marginalization. According to 2011 census, Muslims are 14.2% of India's population and are considered to be marginalized community in India today because in comparison to other communities they have over the years been deprived of the benefits of socio-economic development. The data in the three tables below derived from different sources indicate the situation of the Muslim community with regard to basic amenities, literacy, and public employment. Read the tables below. What do you think these tables tell us about the socio-economic status of the Muslim community? Access to basic amenities 2008 to 9. Religious community Pakka house, electricity, tap water. Hindu 65%, 75 electricity and tap water 43%. Muslim 63 and electricity 67%, tap water. Look at the picture. Religious community Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Sikh, and Pakka house maximum you can say 91.3%. Electricity they also found 96% and tap water 49%. So look at this. And literacy rate in religion 2011 percentage. All Hindus 63%, Muslim 57, Christians 74%, Sikhs 67, Buddhists 71, Jain 86. Which community is highest? Which is Jains. Public employment of Muslim percentage. Look at it. Population IS, IPS, IFS. And Central Public Sector Unit PSU, State PSU, and banks and RBI. Recognizing that Muslims in India were lagging behind in terms of various development indicators, the government set up a high-level committee in 2005, chaired by Justice Rajendra Sachar. The committee examined the social, economic, and educational status of the Muslim community in India. The expert discussed in detail that marginalization of this community. It suggests that on a range of social, economic, and educational indicators, the situation of the Muslim community is comparable to that of other marginalized communities like scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. For example, according to the report, the average years of the schooling for Muslim children between the age of 7 to 16 is much lower than that of other socio-religious communities. Economic and social marginalization experienced by Muslim has other dimensions as well. Like other minorities, Muslim customs and practices are sometimes quite distinct from what is seen as the mainstream, some not all. Muslims may wear a burqa, sport a long beard, wear a fudge, and these become ways to identify all Muslim. Because of this, they tend to be identified differently, and some people think they are not like to the rest of us. Often, this becomes an excuse to treat them unfairly. They discriminate against them. Do you remember reading in your class 7 book about how the Ansaris were finding it difficult to rent a house? The social marginalization of Muslims in some instances has led to them migrating from places where they have lived, often leading to the ghettoizations of the community. Sometimes this prejudice leads to hatred and violence. Look at this small box. Okay. In the above section of this chapter, we saw how in the case of Muslim community there is a link between economic and social marginalization. Earlier in this chapter, you read about the situation of Adivasis in your class 7 book. You read about the unequal status of women in India. The experience of these groups point to the fact that marginalization is complex phenomena requiring a variety of strategies, measures, and safeguard to readers redress the situations. All of us have a stake in protecting the rights defined in the constitution and the law and policies framed to realize these rights. Without these, we will never be able to protect the diversity that make our country unique, nor realize the state's commitment to promote equality for all. Conclusion. In this chapter, we have tried to understand what it means to be marginalized community. We have tried to look at the through the experience of different marginalized communities. There are different reasons for each of these communities being marginalized. Each experiences marginalizations in different ways. We have also seen that marginalizations is linked to experiencing disadvantage, prejudice, and powerlessness. In India, there are several more marginalized communities, like the Dalits of women, who will you will read more in the next chapter. Marginalization result in having a low social status and not having equal access to education and other resources. Yet the lives of the marginalized people can and do change. Thus, no one is marginalized all the time in exactly the same way. If we go back to the two example of marginalizations we have discussed, we will see that each of these group has a long history of struggle and resistance. Marginalized communities want to maintain their cultural distinctiveness while having access to night development and other opportunities. In the next chapter, we will read about how different groups have confronted marginalization. Look at the exercise. Okay, these are the questions you have to solve it. And look at this is the glossary hierarchy. Okay, ghettoizations and mainstream displaced, militarized, and malnourished. Okay, thank you.